Hello students, our today's topic is non-biological nitrogen fixation. Today we will discuss nitrogen fixation by geochemical process and Haber-Bosch process. Living organisms need nitrogen because it is a part of the amino acids that make up proteins and the nucleic acids that make up DNA and RNA. Nitrogen is highly inert gas. Why? Because the nitrogen atoms in dinitrogen form are bound by a very strong triple bond, right? You know, nitrogen is the major component of the Earth's atmosphere, approximately 80%. But still, atmospheric nitrogen cannot be utilized as a source of nutrition by any organism, but a few highly specialized microorganisms only. Before it incorporation means nitrogen's incorporation into plants, it must first be fixed or combined with carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen or oxygen etc. to form salts of nitrogen means like ammonium or nitrate ions etc. Right? So first, what is nitrogen fixation? Nitrogen fixation, in simple term, can be defined as the process by which atmospheric nitrogen gas is converted into salts of nitrogen, such as ammonia, nitrate, and nitrogen dioxide, right? As we have already discussed in our previous lecture when we were discussing about the structure of enzyme nitrogenase, that nitrogen fixation is a highly energy demanding process, right? Means one molecule of nitrogen is fixed into two molecules of ammonia in the presence of 16 ATPs plus 8 electrons and 8 protons are also required, right? So now types of nitrogen fixation. Nitrogen fixation is of two types: physical nitrogen fixation or non-biological nitrogen fixation and biological nitrogen fixation. Physical nitrogen fixation through geochemical processes like lightning and industrially through Haber-Bosch process. Biological nitrogen fixation may be symbiotic or non-symbiotic, right? First, by lightning. Lightning contributes about 10% of the total nitrogen fixation. Usually, atmospheric nitrogen fixation by lightning occurs in rainy season during the lightning or thunderstorms, right? Now, what happened uh, during lightning? So just look at this first reaction. During lightning, free nitrogen combined with oxygen in the presence of lightning and thunder, nitric oxide, two molecules of nitric oxide are formed, right? This nitric oxide then reacts with oxygen, means oxidizes into two molecules of nitrogen dioxide. This nitrogen dioxide then it may react only with water or it may react with oxygen in the presence of water. So when nitrogen dioxide react only with water, it produces nitric acid and nitrous acid, HNO3 and HNO2. When it reacts with atmospheric oxygen in the presence of water, then it produces 4 molecules of nitric acid only, right? No nitrous acid, right? Then these acids, nitric and nitrous acid, reaches the soil with rainwater and combine with alkaline substances and release hydrogen and forming nitrate and nitrite ions. From HNO3, nitrate ions are formed. From HNO2, nitrite ions are formed. And these ions then readily available for microorganisms to use. Right? Now, second process, through the Haber-Bosch process. Haber-Bosch process is an industrial method of reacting hydrogen and nitrogen gas to produce ammonia, right? It involves, means Haber-Bosch process involves, just look at this process, this reaction. 1 mole of diatomic nitrogen means N2 and 3 moles of hydrogen, 1, 2 and 3. 3 moles of diatomic hydrogen is required to produce 2 moles of ammonia, right? So this is Haber process equation. Nitrogen plus 3 molecules of hydrogen and the product is 2 molecules of ammonia. Now, I will tell you about the history of Haber-Bosch process. This process begins with the invention of the Haber process at the dawn of the 20th century. The process allows the economical atmospheric nitrogen fixation in the form of ammonia, which in turn allows for the industrial synthesis of various nitrogen fertilizers, right? Well before the start of this industrial revolution, farmers would fertilize their land in various ways, mainly using feces and urine, etc. In 1840s, works of Justice von Liebig identified that nitrogen as one of the important nutrients, right? How over time children used to play in the fields, and farmers reckoned that that was the reason that their children were so strong. So it indicated that nitrogen is a very, very important nutrient for the growth and development, right? In 1909, German chemist Fritz Haber made scientific history when he demonstrated synthesizing ammonia from atmospheric nitrogen and hydrogen. Later in 1911, the method was significantly improved by another German chemist, Karl Bosch, which made the reaction more efficient for industry. Now, we will discuss about the two important factors required for Haber process, right? First, important factor is an effective catalyst, right? Now, what is catalyst? Catalyst is a substance that speed up a chemical reaction, right? So here, transition metals are almost always used to catalyze the Haber process. Most often means industrial chemists use magnetite and iron oxide with smaller amounts of potassium hydroxide, KOH, right? Other common catalysts include chromium and osmium oxide, etc. Now, mechanistically, the catalyst must bind to nitrogen gas. This allows hydrogen to add across the nitrogen bonds until the nitrogen fully saturates, yielding ammonia, right? Hydrogen will bind to nitrogen to form ammonia only in the presence of this catalyst, right? So without this crucial binding of the catalyst, nitrogen remains inert and unreactive, producing virtually no ammonia. So catalyst is very, very important for the addition of hydrogen to nitrogen, right? Second important factor, pressure. Specifically, high pressure indicates more molecular collision, which increases the rate of reaction, right? Higher the pressure and the rate of reaction will increases, right? Industries tend to perform the Haber process at the highest pressure possible, often means higher than 200 atmosphere, right? At each pass of the gases through the reactor, I will show you this apparatus. Through the reactor, only about 15% of the nitrogen and hydrogen converts to ammonia. By continual recycling of the unreacted nitrogen and hydrogen, the overall conversion is about 98%, right? Now, this is the whole apparatus in set of of this process. So, this will show you what are the main requirements, right? First, just look at here the point wise everything is written. So look at one. First, methane and water will enter the process. Why methane? When methane and water react, they produce hydrogen within the system, right? Then oxygen and nitrogen gas will enter the system. Now just look at it, the fourth point, oxygen and nitrogen, which further generates hydrogen from the methane, right? So in these both reactions, what is the product? Carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide forms as a byproduct, right? Then water vapors enters the system. Look at the sixth point. Water vapors enters the system, oxidizing carbon monoxide to carbon dioxide, right? Now, here is the carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide then leaves and producing the mixture of nitrogen and hydrogen gas, right? This gas mixture then becomes compressed to more than 200 atmospheric pressure, right? And preheat to approximately 500 degrees Celsius. Then the heated and pressurized mixture. Look at this 10 point. Heated and pressurized mixture enters the reaction chamber, right? Fitted with the transition metal catalyst. Here the metal catalyst is present, right? So certain amount of ammonia is produced here only, right? Which is then distilled and which is then distilled by running cold water jacket, right? Here cold water jacket uh, over the reaction mixture. Look at this 11th point. This condenses the ammonia gas to a liquid, right? Which drains out of the system. 13 point here. Liquid ammonia will then drains out of the system. On the first run, this was the first run, only 15% of the nitrogen and hydrogen will have reacted. Now, unreacted gas separates from here. This is nitrogen and hydrogen, which is unreacted. Unreacted, both these gases separates from the liquid ammonia, right? And enters the reaction chamber again here, right? Eventually, means after recycling, about 98% of the original gas mixture react to form ammonia uh, after recycling, means after enough runs, right? So this is all about the non-biological nitrogen fixation and Haber-Bosch process, right? If you have any question, just write down in the comment box so I can answer. Thank you so much.